Live from Queens, New York, All Elite Wrestling presents Double or Nothing Buy-In, fueled by Vita Coco.
Sickos! Welcome to the 8th annual Double or Nothing. This was a night that planted the seeds for what AEW would go on to become. This is a place where the best wrestle. Double or Nothing was a night that changed professional wrestling forever. This is the buy-in for Double or Nothing. We are coming to you from a sold-out Louis Armstrong Stadium right here in Queens, New York. We've got members filing back in here to the stadium. We are going to be sold out tonight, but we've got incredible in-ring action going to be taking place in just moments. Also going to be breaking down some of the action still to come here tonight, live on pay-per-view. But I'm not doing this by myself tonight. No. Ladies and gentlemen, sickos alike, please join me in welcoming to an AEW ring for the first time ever, the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. If that is not a goosebump moment, Mick Foley, everybody! Woo!
And there's my daughter, Noelle.
Noelle! It is so great to hear AEW out here chanting for Foley, but what does it mean to you to be here, to finally be all elite?
Renee, I was just going to say, without any hyperbole, this is one of the biggest nights of my life.
Yeah.
Standing backstage, getting the butterflies, seeing a couple of the female wrestlers about to come out here, knowing it's one of the biggest moments of their lives, knowing that everybody is looking forward to not just one or two events, but one of the greatest shows, maybe the finest show of the year. And listen, I only break out my Crystal Gale shirt for the biggest events.
Can you just take a second to take this in? We're not even full yet. We're going to be sold out tonight, but these people are loud for you tonight already.
Passionate. Passionate.
What brought you to AEW?
Well, I've had a long love affair with professional wrestling, and a couple of years ago I took a little break, and then I started watching wrestling again, and this company, AEW, is the reason I fell in love with wrestling all over again.
I think that's a lot of us.
And I was lucky enough that 15 years ago I had a great lunch with Tony Khan. I consider him a friend to this day because of that lunch, and so when Tony expressed some interest, I let him know I was very interested in being part of something. That's the key. I really want to be part of something, and here in AEW, I feel like I can.
Well, Mick, you are going to be here with me all night long. We get to talk a little bit of action, but right now we're going to get down to the action. So let's take things over ringside to our commentary crew, Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness.
Renee, thank you very much, and welcome to All Elite Wrestling. Mick Foley, welcome to the AEW Double or Nothing buy-in. Fueled by Vita Coco. Fans, we have so many ways to watch Double or Nothing, coming to you live at the top of the hour on pay-per-view via HBO Max and around the world. We will get into that in just a few moments, but we are ready to kick off the action here on the buy-in, fueled by Vita Coco. Let's go to the ring in Arcadiora.
This is the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship 5-minute eliminator match. Introducing first, accompanied by Christopher Daniels, Eva Van, and Zeta
the champions have been on a warpath as of late in these 5-minute eliminator matches. No one's lasted more than, I think, 2.5 minutes with Lena Cross and Megan Bayne.
Yeah, no one come close to surviving 5 minutes with divine dominion. But we heard Mick Foley there talking about some of the female wrestlers in the back coming out past Viva Van and Zeta Salt, what it means for both these stars.
Our divine dominion extends from the heavens to the underworld.
Now rise to your feet as your tag team champions enter the arena. And when you stand before us, you will bow down.
And their opponents, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, the Divine Dominion!
Well, Shivani, domination is the name of the game as far as these women are concerned. The second ever AEW World Tag Team Champions, and it seems like they will be that way for a very long time.
You know, we're talking about the eliminator matches. The past 3 wins, they have won in under 3 minutes. They are 10-0 as a tag team, and we've seen dominant tag teams in the men's division before. The Hurt Syndicate comes to mind. FTR, who we're going to see tonight, World Tag Team Champions, the Bucks. I don't know any team, though, that is as confident as these two ladies. And Nigel, you could hear it as they were walking in.
They're absolutely commanding from their presence to the way they dominate any opponents that stand across the ring from them.
Speaking of tag team wrestling, we could be just a few hours away from the end of an era of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage teaming together. They will be facing FTR in the New York Street Fight and I Quit match. And if FTR win, if they retain the AEW World Tag Team Championship, that is the last time Cope and Cage will be ever able to team together. Very, very high-stakes battle.
Guarantee of that matchup will go a lot longer than 5 minutes, which is all young Zeta Steele and Viva Van have to do. Oh, wait a second.
Zeta Steele.
Ah, yeah.
Pointing the counter elbow time from Megan Bayne and saying all she needs to do is last 5 minutes with the champions. Maybe trying to burn some clock, but that's a lot of clock to burn.
Lena Cross not happy about that.
It's pretty smart. I mean, if you think about it, Christopher Daniels in their corner, of course. I know he's a part of this game plan.
Yeah, Christopher Daniels, an added axe to grind after Divine Dominion mocked him, saying that he'd never lasted 5 minutes. You know what they were talking about?
Now Zeta Steele into the ropes looking for a DDT, possibly on Megan Bayne, but Megan Bayne widens her base and shows off her power, though. Zeta Steele gets to her feet.
Oop, didn't have the leverage.
Roll up here. Megan Bayne misses with a stop, and Zeta Steele once again retreating to the outside.
Bayne, a true Amazonian. Look how fast here, though.
You heard Renee Paquette just a few minutes ago saying, we are sold out here tonight in the Louis Armstrong Stadium. Fans still filing in as Zeta Steele, springboard leg lariat, or excuse me, Viva Van.
Viva Van here, coming close.
Now Viva takes 1/2 of the champions off her feet.
And Van, Vietnamese American heritage. She took to social media. She said, 4 years ago, I attended my first Double or Nothing as an extra. Now I'm part of the show as signed talents. Dreams really do come true.
And she's had plenty of experience, not only here, but in Japan as well. So don't count her out right now.
We're going to take a big risk here.
Taking a big risk.
The bridge by Viva Van sending Megan Bayne to the outside. Viva, the baseball sliding dropkick. Bayne, though, swing, a miss, but Viva Van didn't miss with that guillotine, but Lena Cross just wiped out Viva Van on the outside.
That was as good as a thrust kick or super kick or whatever you want to call it as we have seen in the women's division. Great extension on that long leg, Nigel. Wow.
Athlete, the size, the statuesque physique of Lena Cross to move that quick with that much accuracy.
Fans, as the clock continues to tick downward on this 5-minute eliminator match, so does the clock to Double or Nothing. The main event coming up at the top of the hour. You can join us on HBO Max, on Prime Video, My AEW. Lena Cross, the cover there. Oof. My AEW, DAZN, YouTube, ppv.com, and main event So many ways to join us, of course, on traditional cable and satellite providers as well.
Time is ticking down now as Van and Steele are coming close to the record.
Yes, they are. They're going to the 3-minute mark here. Here we go.
Van is out on her feet. All Van and Steele have to do is survive 5 minutes. They just have to last 5 minutes. It's only easier said than done, Tony, if you can think back to your wedding night.
Well, yeah, but also they only got a 143, and they're going to get a World Tag Team title shot. No one Excalibur's lasted this long.
No one yet. Can Viva Van and Zeta Steele be the first women to do so? Lena Cross grabbing the boot of Viva Van. And Viva, empty gear. You know, I think that was just a kick in the face.
Yep.
Maybe in the teeth. Tag made. Now Zeta Steele charging in, rolls underneath. Zeta Steele, a flurry of elbow strikes. Lena Cross sends her away. Zeta comes through T. Harris, and Lena stumbles into the corner. Zeta Steele now just over 1 minute on the clock.
Zeta Steele, who came to AEW betting on herself. A huge opportunity now. If she can last.
We could see the next challengers for Divine Dominion in the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
Under a minute.
One, two. And Nigel, had that pinfall attempt been successful, the clock would have been irrelevant.
I was going to say, we best not realize that Steele and Van certainly capable of picking up a victory as well. However much of an underdog they might be.
Take a look at this
time
clock.
ticking away.
Wow.
Time becoming a crucial issue here for Divine Dominion in this eliminator match. German suplex.
Stay alive, stay alive.
Less than half a minute left.
Stay away from the lights.
Oh, double choke slam. Cover made by Bang. 1, 2, 3.
Here are your winners, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Divine Dominion.
Megan Bain, Lena Cross pulling it out at the death, fending off yet another 5-minute eliminator challenge. And oh my God! Bain just wiped out Christopher Daniels. And the champions aren't done. Now Viva Van driven down and folded in half.
I don't know if it's about anger or what.
Wait a second.
Ty Mello, Anna Jay.
The inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team.
And they were carrying some heavy artillery with it, giving the champs some second thoughts.
They better be carrying some weapons against Divine Dominion.
Anna Jay, she and Megan Bain have crossed paths many times before. The animosity strongly felt. We heard last week at Collision, Tony, Ty Mello and Anna Jay, they are back on the tag team scene here in the women's division, and they have the champs in their sights. Well, coming up next on the Double or Nothing buy-in, fueled by Vita Coco, it will be Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli, the Death Riders, taking on Anthony Bowens, Katsuyori Shibata, and the cold-hearted, handsome double, Hook of the Opps. Next.
Trios contest is set for one fall. Introducing first at a combined weight of 637 pounds, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli.
Our first of two Death Riders versus Opps battles tonight. Of course, during Double or Nothing, we will see Samoa Joe and I guess the Opps adjacent Will Ospreay battle out in an opening round match of the 2026 Owen Hart Foundation tournament, Nigel.
Yeah, well, let's give a little bit of backstory. When the Death Riders declared war on AEW, it was Samoa Joe who was one of the men who led the charge against them. And when Moxley and Joe were fighting out what might be called the possession of Will Ospreay's soul, Ospreay elected to go with the Death Riders, and the Opps took offense to that and want to show why that was a mistake.
And their opponent, at a combined weight of 635 pounds, the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata, the pride of professional wrestling, Anthony Bowens, and
Tony, these two teams very nearly the mirror image of one another. You've got Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta, the young up-and-coming stars for the Death Riders, and then you have the veteran presence of Claudio Castagnoli. Likewise across the ring, Hook and Anthony Bowens, the young up-and-comers, and Katsuyori Shibata, the anchor for the Opps.
It's about as good a trios match you're going to find, and we have it right here on our buy-in tonight. Look at this. No one will back down, including Marina Shafir standing right in the front.
Well, talk about the history with Ospreay. Do you think, fellas, it was a mistake for Ospreay to reject the overture of Samoa Joe and instead go with John Moxley, a man who nearly ended his career?
I don't. I really don't. I think it was a good choice. If you listen to what Will Ospreay has had to say since that time, he sounds clear. He sounds like determined, and I really think the Death Riders have put him on the right track.
Counterpoint, Tony Schiavone. Will Ospreay, since his reinvention with the Death Riders by Jon Moxley, or led by Jon Moxley, has not faced an athlete the caliber of Samoa Joe. A former TNT champion, a former AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe.
A very vengeful man, violence manifest. It'll be a big test for the aerial assassin, or might perhaps go by the Death Assassin now.
And Anthony Bowens springs up to his feet as this sold-out crowd here in Queens, New York, the Louis Armstrong Stadium, still filing in. And we are less than 3/4 of an hour away from Double or Nothing coming up on pay-per-view. You can join us on HBO Max. Visit hbomax.com/AEW. Wheeler Yuta backslide Bowens. Able to kick out. Mahi Strahl attempted. Yes. 1, 2. Bowens once again kicks out. Internationally, fans, you can join us on Prime Video, My AEW, DAZN, YouTube, PPV.com. Bowens now with the roll-up. Yuta, very late escape. YouTube, PPV.com, main event internationally. So many ways to join us for Double or Nothing, the flagship event, the one that started it all for Double or Nothing back in for AEW back in 2019.
Now filling out here, Louis Armstrong Stadium. It won't be long. They will be crammed to the rafters as Anthony Bowens, the newest member of the Opps, who's really got a lot to prove. We saw in his tag match alongside Samoa Joe how much more aggressive he has been of late.
Yeah, he's showing that right now, Nigel, being very, very aggressive. And Wheeler broke that, walks back to his corner. Smart move by Wheeler, and here comes Garcia. Uh-oh.
Garcia.
Hook and Daniel Garcia now facing off. Garcia is fired up. Hook keeping a calm presence. Garcia just charges in, knee striking, series of boots.
Well, what about that? Yeah, a strong start from Garcia, who I might question some of his actions, but certainly you can understand his motives. This young man who's found a father figure in Jon Moxley.
Oh, nice pivot there by Hook. Came in with a heel trip, and now front face lock as Garcia trying to fight his way back up to his feet. And you see Jon Moxley, the leader of the Death Riders, was putting his Continental Championship on the line against Kyle O'Reilly. Tonight, everyone will be banned from ringside. There will be no time limit when those two men do battle. And remember, Kyle O'Reilly, he has had Jon Moxley's number.
It certainly seemed to be the kryptonite to Moxley's Superman. Lasting the full 20 minutes this past week on Dynamite to earn this title opportunity. But right now, Daniel Garcia is in there with one of the legends.
And Katsuyori Shibata, he's been calling out Claudio Castagnoli. Daniel Garcia did not want to give Shibata the pleasure of doing so, but
wow.
Listen to that reaction.
Yes, they're two legendary performers.
And they are battering one another here.
Shibata
At center court.
suffered head injuries earlier in his career. Certainly not for the trend with the man. The strength of Castagnoli.
Yeah, these two have been at war before over the Trios Championship. Oh! Holy smokes!
And a flurry unleashed by Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata charges and drum kick in the corner.
Shibata is looking great.
Over and under suplex. Shibata floats over into a pinning predicament. Castagnoli able to kick out. Man, the atmosphere here at the Louis Armstrong Stadium is fantastic. Of course, we've been next door at Arthur Ashe a number of times before. Arthur Ashe currently undergoing some pretty extensive renovations, but we are so happy to be joining you once again from the Billie Jean King Tennis Center tonight.
It was next door at the Arthur Ashe Stadium back in 2024 where Hook retired the FTW belt, if you'll recall. And, of course, he is a New York State product here in the metro area, the tri-state area, as they call it.
For Hook to come here to get this barrage of right hands from Garcia. And that is where a younger Daniel Garcia might have popped those hips. No longer the dancing Daniel Garcia we knew.
Hook did the smart thing. He tried to make it away to the corner to tag in Anthony Bowens. Garcia cut him off, but Hook now makes the tag instead to Katsuyori Shibata. Now Shibata comes in and hammers Daniel Garcia across the spine.
Yeah, and with purpose. Shibata is really feeling it tonight.
Shibata with those educated feet, as the legendary Jim Ross, who we'll be hearing from later this evening. Ooh!
Garcia the high boot, and Shibata goes down in a heap. And in comes Wheeler Yuta, double sledge. Fans coming up at the top of the hour. It will be Double or Nothing live on pay-per-view on HBO Max. You can order right now and join us at hbomax.com/AEW, our main event. It will be title versus hair. Darby Allin, the AEW World Champion, versus MJF. We could be moments away or hours away from MJF suffering the most profound humiliation right here in his own backyard in Queens.
Certainly Double or Nothing for the former AEW World Champion. The title and his hair.
And internationally, you can join us on Prime Video, My AEW, DAZN, YouTube, ppv.com, and Main Event. You do not want to miss the 8th installment of Double or Nothing as we make history here tonight, bringing a pay-per-view to New York for the first time.
Gentlemen, through all of this, we've been seeing a great comeback here by the Death Riders. Shibata was looking great, but the Death Riders have been using teamwork to take the advantage.
Well, let's call a spade, Tony. They came in illegally without attack, knocked down the two legal members of the Opps, and that's how they've maintained this advantage against Shibata, who right now, that Bushido spirit, he wants more.
Oh, Garcia changes levels, cuts off the momentum of Shibata. I think Garcia felt like he was on the losing end of that battle of chops.
It was a smart move to change the levels, Excalibur.
Garcia comes flying in again, but Shibata holding his ground now. Shibata back heel trip. Garcia goes down hard.
Well, Shibata just too tough tonight.
Whoa, look at this.
Wheeler Yuta comes in, sends Bowens off the apron, a shot for Hook as well, and Hook now just getting dragged in by Wheeler Yuta.
Yuta by the skin of his teeth, preventing the tag there. The Death Riders have run roughshod during this match, paying very little attention to the rules, and you know what they say about the apple not falling far from the tree.
Here we go, synchronized attack again.
Rapid combination by Garcia, Castagnoli, Yuta. Rinse and repeat for the Death Riders. Claudio Castagnoli covered, far leg is hooked, but
Owens thought about coming in to break up the pin, wasn't necessary. Still plenty of fire left in this young man, this cold-hearted, handsome devil. Wait a second, hey, go for Red Rum.
Looking for Red Rum, but Claudio Castagnoli, he felt it very nearly being cinched in. He backed Hook up to the corner, and now Hook Trying to make the crawl over to Anthony Bowens, but Danny Garcia intervenes and hook! Sends Garcia for a ride, but Wheeler Yuta trying to block it. Chop high in the chest and hook. A high crotch sends Wheeler Yuta over the top.
How to get there, Bowens, the pride of pro wrestling, keen to make the tag. And the Dark Horses of the Death Riders missed there.
And the former AEW World Tag Team Champion, the former AEW World Trios Champion, Anthony Bowens into the fray and unleashing a series of shots on the Death Riders. Now Bowens, neck breaker, kick to the midsection on Garcia, pops him up and over the top goes Anthony Bowens.
Bowens as good a striker as you'll find anywhere in AEW, as you can see, not only with his fist, his elbow, and his feet.
Bowens relatively fresh here and really proving his worth to the Opps. There's a cover.
Twisting DDT, cover made, but Castagnoli, the double stomp to break it up.
Wow.
Well, the decision hangs in the balance, so certainly Samoa Joe will be watching on eagerly ahead of his match with Will Ospreay here tonight.
Castagnoli was looking for the neutralizer. Bowens anticipated it. Rolled out. Now Anthony Bowens, though, with an armbar.
And certainly Samoa Joe will be very impressed with the way that Anthony Bowens has commanded this late portion of the match. But wait a second.
Shibata and Hook have Garcia and Yuta all tied up, but Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh, Castagnoli, plenty of time to break that up.
There's too strong. Is that really too strong for all of them?
Lean, sinewy physique.
That is the ring generalship of Claudio Castagnoli, as Anthony Bowens now finding himself at a 3-on-1 disadvantage, Tony.
Yeah, but you know what? Bowens doesn't care. Goes in the fight. He wanted to become a member of the Opps, gentlemen, to show his worth, and I think he's doing it right now.
Perfect opportunity to do just that.
Whoa.
Boy. And the Dark Horses now. A clubbing, a mugging, an absolute drubbing of Anthony Bowens. Good
massive uppercut. Castagnoli covers 2, 3.
Here are your winners, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli.
Bowens very impressive out here, gentlemen, but it was 3-on-1 there at the end. Nothing he could do about that.
The numbers just too much for Anthony Bowens as the Death Riders notch their first victory of the night. What will be the case when Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe face off in the first round of the 2026 Owen Hart Foundation Tournament? But right now, fans, let's return to the esteemed Renee, Paquette, and Mick Foley.
Big win for Claudio Castagnoli, gives him a ton of momentum as we kick off the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament tonight. Claudio, of course, in that tournament. We've got 3 matches set for tonight on the ladies' side. Mina Shirakawa versus Athena. On the men's side, Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe, as well as Swerve taking on Bandito. Talk to me about this tournament. We've got the winner of these tournaments going on to challenge for the respective world titles at All In. But what did Owen mean to you?
Well, the world lost Owen Hart 27 years ago. He was one of my dearest friends, and Renee, as amazing as he was inside the ring as a wrestler, he was even better outside of it as a man, and I can't think of a better way to honor his memory than with this tournament.
Well, it's very exciting once that tournament finally kicks off, and we're doing it right here at Double or Nothing. Now, let's talk this AEW World Tag Team Championship matchup. This is an I Quit New York street fight. FTR versus Cope and Christian. You go way back with those two gentlemen. How do you think this is going to play out tonight?
Oh, man, I can't wait to find out. I do go back way back with Cope and Cage, right? But I remember seeing big things, predicting big things from FTR from the moment I saw them. So that's one of the joys to me as a fan, as somebody who grew up loving this crazy business of ours, to watch and find out. And I don't know if it's in anyone's their nature to say those 2 dreaded words. Woo! I quit, but somebody's going to have to tonight at Double or Nothing.
We're going to find out. This was such a personal friendship between FTR and Cope and Christian, but tonight it is an I Quit New York street fight. Will we see Cope and Christian get tag titles for the first time in 25 years, or will we never see them tag ever again?
And for 30 years, over 30 years now, We've been coming into your living rooms every week.
Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Arguably the greatest tag team ever.
That's a connection. FTR wants to kill that connection. FTR wants to kill this.
More than about titles, more than about legacy.
I want there to be no more questions. I want there to be no more debates. 5 letters, 2 words. I quit.
We are going to you up.
2 of the greatest tag teams of their respective generations.
Cope and Cage will never team again.
After you drop my wife on her head, I need that best version of FTR. Make that FTR say,
I quit. We give you the opportunity to see one of the greatest tag teams of all time one last time.
The truth is, if we can't beat FTR for those tag team titles, we shouldn't be a tag team anyway.
Right?
I'm loving it. That was good to do it in one-on-one instead of a good.
Yeah.
The following 10-man tag team contest at the football is fueled by Vita Coco. Introducing first, Jay Taylor, the Infantry, Anthony Agogo, and the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Lee Moriarty.
Rumble, bad man, rumble. What a motley crew of killers. And Christine XO, what an addition as well there. Lee Moriarty with the Pure title for now. The longest reign in the history of that title.
And their opponents, first, accompanied by Harley Cameron and the Riddler, the team of Mark Briscoe, and 2/3 of the AEW Raw Trios champions, Roderick Strong, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy.
Riddler really does have Riz. He's got Harley Cameron on his arm. Wow.
Joining them, accompanied by Big Justice at a combined weight of 489 pounds, QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ Boom
Not just Big Justice, but Vita Coco Man getting in on the act as well. It's big time. 10-man tag team match fueled by Vita Coco. As we are under 30 minutes away from Double or Nothing live on pay-per-view at the top of the hour.
And there's been some really bad blood between the conglomeration and the team of Shane Taylor Promotions. It all has to do with what happened during our last Ring of Honor pay-per-view, Supercard of Honor, when STP lost the Trios Championship to Dalton Castle and his crew,
and the Outrunners.
Yeah, the Outrunners, and then all of a sudden they decided to attack the Outrunners, to attack Dalton Castle. Conglomeration came to their aid.
The Outrunners and Dalton Castle were gloating about having won the six-man tag team titles, and out came Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe.
They were celebrating
their nose where their business did not belong.
They were celebrating. That was their first big championship of the Outrunners.
And fans with 3.5 times the electrolytes versus the leading sports drink. Vita Coco brings hydration that matches the energy, intensity, and endurance that defines all elite wrestling. As QT Marshall, Carly Bravo starting out high. And Zagiri takes down Carly Bravo.
Yes, kick there from QT. Boom and Doom. QT actually going by the name Doom, but if you look at his cholesterol score, I think that might be more fitting for Big Boom AJ.
Big Boom AJ putting those right hands to use on the head of Carly Bravo. Quick tag back out to QT Marshall.
Where did you get everybody's cholesterol score?
I've got my influence.
Oh, yeah, you're a liar is what you are.
It's just a small HIPAA violation. What does it matter?
Exactly.
Rizzler, Big Justice.
Ooh, strong by name and strong by nature. Those right hands. Carly Bravo suffering an absolute mugging. And in comes the chicken. Buoyed from his victory over Tommaso Ciampa this past week on Dynamite.
It was a bloody battle this past Wednesday. It's a wonder that Mark Briscoe's able to walk after this.
It's a heck of a five-man team here.
Anything you can do, I can do a lot worse.
Cassidy celebrating. Carly Bravo goes down. Cassidy looks for the quick cover, but
not today. And in comes Shane Taylor Promotions. This one breaking down.
Lee Moriarty, Anthony Ogogo, Shane Taylor, and Sean Dean, Carly Bravo's partners. Of course, the statuesque Christian XO on the outside, and she played a big role in STP defending the Ring of Honor six-man tag team championship.
Last time they retained the titles against Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, Mance Warner. She was a big factor there, and certainly Shane Taylor Promotions, having lost the Ring of Honor six-man tag team titles, would love to wear gold again. Whoa, in the corner.
And we're bringing the CAP with the BBC to NYC.
Shane Taylor Promotions celebrating perhaps a little early.
Well, Carly Bravo does not know how to shut up. We have found that out many times. And look at our countdown clock, Excalibur. We are closely
just over 20 minutes away from Double or Nothing, coming to you live at the top of the hour. You can join us on HBO Max. Visit hbomax.com/AEW and internationally on Prime Video, My AEW DAZN, YouTube, PPV.com, and main event Orange Cassidy, hands firmly planted in the pockets. Drop kick, sends a go-go, reeling back to the corner. Shane Taylor swings, and so does Orange Cassidy. But, oh, a go-go, the body shot.
Oh, right hand. That's it. Good night.
1, 2, no.
What? That was 3. Come on.
I tell you, as great a striker as Orange Cassidy is with that orange punch, he can't out-punch
Not
the big
a chance. And
Well,
here comes Tiger style.
I mean, you've got Shane Taylor, of course, very heavy-handed, but Anthony Ogogo, remember, Olympic bronze medalist, but Stundog millionaire from Orange Cassidy. Is Moriarty backs to the corner. Carly Bravo comes
Get
in.
Cassidy away. Wait a sec, but Big Boob AJ keen to make the tag.
Bravo's working for it.
Double chocolate chip cookie power.
Here he is.
And in comes AJ. Been working very hard in the gym to stay in shape.
Whoa, we got Big Boom AJ. Do you want to throw hands with Anthony Ogogo? I don't think so.
Hair shape.
Oh, one punch. That's from Shane Taylor. Wow.
Massive difference maker from the namesake of Shane Taylor Promotions is
oh boy.
AJ sends Taylor spilling to the floor. And meanwhile, Carly Bravo driven down, cover made, and Bravo able to kick out.
No body weight across the shoulders of Carly Bravo.
Yeah, only to get the hand on the chest, Nigel. That's all Big Boom could do.
AJ gasping desperately now as he calls to QT, but instead
look at Lee Moriarty.
Oh.
Distracted referee Stefan Smith so Christian XO could intervene, and now Rizzler and Harley Cameron.
Rizzler's going to make a decision here.
What decision is that, Nigel?
Who's he going home with? Who's he going home with?
Oh, look at Harley go!
Harley Cameron wants to be the one going home with the Riz. Yeah.
Meanwhile, inside the ring, Mark Briscoe, legal for the conglomeration / Boom and Doom side, and he is fighting off both Moriarty and Taylor. Briscoe boots for Moriarty, and Zigiri rocks Shane Taylor.
Redneck Kung Fu against Tiger Style. Look at that. Oh, a beautiful block.
Moriarty,
Moriarty.
Maneuvered himself underneath the lariat of Mark Briscoe and held him firm for Shane Taylor, but now the unorthodox offense of Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy, 2/3 of the AEW World Trios champions.
I think since Roddy Strong joined the conglomeration officially, we've seen the best Roderick Strong that we have seen in AEW.
Leaping knee strike, and we will see the other member of the Trios champions tonight. He will face Jon Moxley with no time limit for the AEW Continental Championship. O'Reilly went the distance with Moxley this past Wednesday.
Chickens aren't supposed to fly.
O'Reilly earned his shot this past Wednesday, but remember, he's had Moxley's number before. He's forced the champion to tap out on a number of occasions.
And of course, the biggest one at Blood and Guts, but look up top here.
Back inside, Big Boom AJ coming to the aid of his tag team partner. What's the Riz doing?
The Rizzler and Big Justice up. The Vita Coco in the eyes of the infantry. Little mid-match hydration for Carly Bravo and Sean Dean. QT Marshall losing his balance, but still.
Good Lord.
A triple powerbomb, 2, 3.
Here are your winners, the Conglomeration and Boom and Down.
Man, with all that Vita Coco up there, you can tell why QT would slip off the top.
Well, it was distraction from Christian Exo on the outside off your camera. But ultimately, Big Boom AJ scoring the victory of the Conglomeration.
Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, QT Marshall, and Big Boom AJ victorious. But Shane Taylor Promotions, they've got the ring surrounded. They don't seem to be taking this loss lying down.
Oh, wait a second. Well, we mentioned them earlier. Not happy with how their title opportunity went down.
One of Shane Taylor's worst enemies.
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston, the fans here at
Ortiz and Mance Warner. This was the last team that Shane Taylor Promotions defended their Ring of Honor 6-man championship against, and they did so. They stole that match from Kingston, Warner, and Ortiz. And those 3 men have not forgotten about it.
Eddie Kingston close to home.
Wow, big time intervention by Kingston, Mance Warner, and Ortiz. Fans, we are just over 15 minutes away from Double or Nothing live on pay-per-view on HBO Max. You can join us at the top of the hour. Visit hbomax.com/AEW. And internationally, you may join us on Prime Video, My AEW, DAZN, YouTube, PPV.com, and Main Event.
I love Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, Mance Warner, and of course Orange Cassidy mixing up there with Vita Cocoman. But fans, wow, I mean, we have had a tremendous night of action here on the Double or Nothing buy-in fueled by Vita Coco. We are getting ready for Double or Nothing live at the top of the hour, coming to you for the first time ever from the Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York. We are excited to be here. You can tell already that the atmosphere is electric. And to cap off our Double or Nothing buy-in fueled by Vita Coco, let's go back to Mick Foley and Renee Paquette.
What an incredible night already. Eddie Kingston in the house.
Yeah.
Eddie, being here in New York just feels right. Mick, how you feeling so far tonight?
I'm feeling great. I'm having the time of my life. There's so much more left to see. Double or Nothing, I predict it's going to be one of the best shows of my life.
Well, let's get into tonight's main event. This is a title versus hair match. Darby Allin versus MJF. I would love to get your prediction of what's going to happen with these two.
Well, I'm predicting big things, exciting things. But in my opinion, in my history, Renee, you can only excel when you're playing to win, not playing not to lose.
Fair.
And in my opinion, MJF is playing not to lose.
It's an expensive hairline.
It's a lot. Listen, I go way back. I've got the old wrestler injuries. I've got a metal hip. I've got a metal knee. I've got torn ligaments. MJF has hair plugs he got from Turkey. And
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And so he is going to do everything in his power to hold on to that hair. But again, playing to lose is not the same as playing to win. Darby Allin's on a roll. My prediction is Darby Allin goes home with the world title. Just one man's opinion.
His career, all he did was fail. Nah, see, I'm not buying that. I'm sorry, are you guys booing me? Okay, I would care about your opinion more if I too was stupid enough to think the Knicks are ever going to win a championship ever again. Luckily, unlike all of you, I'm not a complete moron. Speaking of people who are going to let you down tonight, Darby Allin. Shut up! And when I talk about Darby Allin, I think of you, Mick, because you guys are a lot alike. Matter of fact, you guys are a lot alike all these people here tonight. You're underdogs, you know? And when your backs are against the wall, all you people do what you do best. Lose.
Max, just for a moment, let me take this in, because I never thought I'd have a feeling like this again in my life. So, just for a moment, let me thank you for giving that gift to me. And now I'm going to give you a little piece of advice and a little piece of history, which is, yes, I lost a lot of matches. There's a young man named Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson who might recall a couple victories I had as well. But here's where you and I differ. In none of those matches did Mick Foley have a match that ended in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's not a loss. That's a disgrace. So unless you want to be known as the man whose matches can time an egg, you better put your big boy pants on, because you got Darby Allin to contend with. And when you see Darby Allin, yeah, you see shades of me, but you see a younger me, a more athletic me, someone who wants to win more than I ever did. I was content to steal the show, and he's not, because he's going to simultaneously steal the show and take away what you love most, the AEW title and your hair. You know, I never noticed, until I got up real close to you, Max. You've got wavy hair, and tonight, it's waving goodbye.
That's cute.
Oh no!
Jeez. What a low-life, despicable, good-for-nothing piece of...
Classless by MJF.
Foley can wave goodbye to his bulls after that.
Oh, Darby Allin charging out just as MJF was lining up Mick Foley with that dynamite diamond ring.
Don't you run away, Max! Don't you run away, Max! I didn't know it till a month ago that I inspired your career. I've known you since you were the quiet kid who kept to himself in the independent dressing rooms. And it wasn't until John Moxley faced off with you at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey I remember it was like yesterday. He said, Mick, if you can, stick around and watch this match because this kid can do anything. And I looked at him and repeated the word, anything. And as I've watched you succeed in my own way, I felt like it's myself succeeding because you were the weird kid who was never picked for stardom. You were the shy kid who people mistook shyness for arrogance, and you've taught the world that greatness does not come in one package. So tonight, win one for the weird ones. Tonight, win this thing for anyone ever been told they can't do it. Prove them wrong. Show them that you have what it takes not just to be a champion, but to be a legend. And if I could quote an old friend of mine, I'd like to conclude by saying, bang, 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 Darby Allin, bang, bang.
Well, Darby Allin just nearly 40 days of getting the pep talk of his life by the icon Sting. Got one hell of a pep talk by the legend Mick Foley ahead of our Double or Nothing main event coming up tonight. Darby Allin puts his AEW World Championship on the line against Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and MJF will put his hair on the line in what could be his greatest humiliation ever.
That was quite a pep talk, wasn't it?
Incredible.
Wow.
Legends don't come much bigger than Mick Foley, and if you're Darby Allin, the inspiration has got to be coursing through his veins, but he's facing one of the most duplicitous challenges he ever had to face in MJF.
And fans, just over 8 minutes away from Double or Nothing, coming to you live on pay-per-view. You can join us internationally on Prime Video, myaew.com, DAZN, YouTube, ppv.com, and Main Event. And then domestically, you can join us on HBO Max on pay-per-view. Visit hbomax.com/AEW to join us for Double or Nothing, because this is what you are going to see here tonight from the beautiful Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York. The main event, title versus hair. Darby Allin, the AEW World Champion, versus MJF, the challenger.
Bold, bold, bold.
MJF wants to become a 3-time AEW World Champion, and also we will be kicking off the Owen Hart Foundation men's and women's tournaments tonight. First round action. Will Ospreay, for the first time ever, will face former TNT champion, former AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe. And across the bracket from that match, Swerve Strickland and Bandito will meet one-on-one tonight on Double or Nothing. And remember, the winner of the Owen Hart Foundation tournaments will be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship and the AEW Women's World Championship at All in London later this summer. And speaking of the women's tournament, Mina Shirakawa and the Forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena will battle it out tonight live on pay-per-view. Plus, the Continental Championship will be on the line. Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly will meet with absolutely no time limit. Kyle O'Reilly has had Jon Moxley's number, forcing the Continental Champion to tap out not once, but twice. Can he do it again tonight at Double or Nothing? We will also see a battle of wills, a battle of generations, and a battle for the AEW International Championship. The Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, will challenge the Rainmaker, the AEW International Champion, Kazuchika Okada, tonight. And the AEW Women's World Championship is on the line. And for the first time ever, 4 women that have held the AEW Women's World Championship will be competing in the same match as the Toxic Spider Tekla tries to fend off the challenge by 3-time former champion Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander, and Jamie Hayter. Plus, it will be wild, it will be unruly, it will be Stadium Stampede. Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, and the Elite will take on the Demand, the Don Callis family, and the Dogs 7-on-7 for the first time ever in Stadium Stampede. And kicking off the action tonight, a crucial, high-stakes AEW World Tag Team Championship match. It will be I Quit, and it will be the legacy, the future of Christian Cage and Adam Copeland on the line as they face Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler for the AEW World Tag Team Championship and Cope and Cage's future as a tag team duo. As you can see, we are less than 5 minutes away from Double or Nothing coming to you on pay-per-view. No one does pay-per-view like All Elite Wrestling. Bring the kiddies, bring the wife. You are guaranteed to have the time of your life with Double or Nothing. Just over 4 minutes away for the first time ever at the Louis Armstrong Stadium here on the Billie Jean King Tennis Center in Queens, New York. Tony, we are in store for an incredible night of action.
It's rabid fans here tonight. They are waiting for all these title matches and wondering if Maxwell Jacob Friedman will leave a bald head.
Nigel, MJF has an opportunity to become a 3-time world champion at just 30 years of age. Or he could suffer the greatest humiliation of his life in his own backyard.
For MJF, it is literally double or nothing. He goes home with the title or he loses his hair.
Well, fans, we will see you for Double or Nothing in just a few moments live on pay-per-view. And we're kicking it off with a big one.
This city is its own life force. It can bring out one's best.
They killed the old me. They rebuilt me.
At Double or Nothing, I'm going to give you exactly what you want.
Or reveal the darkness hidden.
There is nothing more dangerous than a man that desires power.
Where the chaos is a strength.
6 years ago, you created your own match. A match that happened at Double or Nothing.
It cannot be contained. It can only be witnessed.
Chris Jericho and the Hurt Syndicate are looking for partners. So how about me, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega?
Stadium Stampede.
And creates the medal of champions.
Our first taste of action in the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament.
The same man that put me on the shelf for months is the man that I submitted twice and will submit again.
Got a score to settle?
At Double or Nothing, I must beat Kazuchika Okada. I must regain AEW International Championship.
There is no better place.
5 letters, 2 words.
I quit.
And when all the smoke clears, this city leaves you with a legacy to hold.
So what's standing in between you and your dream is your living nightmare.
Give me my rematch, Darby. Everyone deserves a shot at this. If you want a rematch, you're gonna have to put something on the line. I want something you hold most dear in this life. I'm talking about your hair!
World Championship on the line against the hair of MJF. New York is AEW country.
We are going to you up.
You never cared about me!
I'm going to do anything it takes. I want you to do the same. Whatever it takes.